She filmed whatever you want. She has a warrant out of Oklahoma for arrest. She's been knowing about it for a couple.
In the law, boo, whatever you want. She has a warrant out of Oklahoma for arrest. She's been knowing about it for a couple of weeks. Chrisean Rock has just been handed an 8-year prison sentence, known for her fiery personality and wild relationship with rapper Blueface. Chrisean has been in and out of headlines for years. But this latest development is by far the most devastating one. The reality star's life has taken a tragic turn, and the consequences are unfolding in ways no one could have predicted. So let's take a trip back to the moment that shocked everyone in the courtroom incident where Chrisean Rock was arrested during Blueface's hearing. The day started like any other chaotic event in the lives of these two controversial figures, but it quickly spiraled into something no one could have predicted. Chrisean, always known for making a scene, arrived at the courthouse with her son Jr. in tow, likely expecting nothing more than to show support for Blueface. But what happened next was pure drama. According to witnesses, 5 LAPD officers were already waiting for her, ready to make their move. It was as if they had planned the entire thing down to the minute. The confusion on Chrisean's face was unmistakable as they slapped the handcuffs on her. The viral video that captured this moment showed her in complete disbelief, repeatedly asking why she was being arrested. The officers offered little explanation as they escorted her out of the courtroom, leaving a sea of questions in their wake. So Chrisean got arrested. Chrisean Rock showed up to court Monday to support Blueface, but ended up being arrested on her own charges while she was there. How you go to court for your man, and then they be waiting for you sounds on brand to me. Law enforcement told TMZ that 5 officers were waiting for Chrisean at the courthouse, expecting her arrival. Chrisean had her baby with her, but was still cuffed and arrested now. What appeared to be a simple misunderstanding or a minor legal hiccup quickly snowballed into something much more serious. Initially, many people assumed that Chrisean's arrest was due to a petty issue, something that would only keep her behind bars for a few months. But as the details began to emerge, it became clear that this was far from the truth. What started as a minor arrest turned into a major legal battle, with multiple charges from different incidents coming to light, each one being more serious than the last. One of the most significant charges Chrisean faced stemmed from an outstanding warrant dating back to 2022. This wasn't just any warrant, it was related to the transportation of illegal substances in Oklahoma, a serious offense that she had managed to keep under wraps. Until now, sources claimed that Chrisean had been caught by police while transporting controlled substances, a charge that could have easily landed her in prison back then. However, instead of facing the consequences, she made a run for it, fleeing to Los Angeles in the hopes of escaping her past. For a while, it seemed like she had outsmarted the system. She continued to live her life in LA, even going so far as to brag about avoiding jail time on social media. In one of her famous IG live sessions, Chrisean even admitted that she had no intention of turning herself in because she had to look after her son. She even revealed that she had been paying off legal fees and working behind the scenes to get the case thrown out. All my warrants, my wars are getting cleaned up. I've been paying off fees and getting rid of talking to certain people to help my situation out. Cause I have my son, so the old me would have just turned myself in. And that with it threw in from inside to the outside of the so whatever, so I don't be like But right now, I got to play cautious. Because I don't plan on being in jail while my son now. It was clear that Chrisean believed she could buy her way out of trouble, but the law had other plans. As more information came to light, it became evident that Chrisean's legal troubles were far more extensive than anyone had realized. In addition to the substance transportation charge, she was also facing accusations of assault. One of the most notable incidents involved a man who claimed that Chrisean had attacked him unprovoked, leaving him with a disfigured face and several broken teeth. This incident turned out to be a crucial piece of the puzzle in Chrisean's legal downfall. The alleged victim had pressed charges against her, and those charges are now being taken very seriously by the courts. Well, it has become clear that Chrisean was in deep trouble. The court wasn't just focused on her recent arrest. They were taking into account her entire history of run-ins with the law, her attempts to evade justice, and her overall reckless behavior. The Oklahoma charge alone carried a potential 4-year sentence. But when combined with the other charges, the court had little choice but to impose a much harsher penalty. The court's decision was an 8-year prison sentence, a punishment that reflects the gravity of her actions. For Chrisean, this sentence is a devastating blow. Not only strips her of her freedom for a decade, but also separates her from her son Jr. during some of the most critical years of his life. The court's ruling serves as a stark reminder that no one, no matter how famous or notorious, can outrun the consequences of their actions. Forever, This 8-year sentence marks a turning point in Christian's life, one that will have a harsh reality check. For a woman who has spent years living on the edge, constantly pushing boundaries and testing the limits of the law, now, with her future in the hands of the criminal justice system, Chrisean is facing the consequences of her choices, and the outcome is nothing short of tragic. No one was expecting Cheat Southeast to get arrested at your son's hearing. I mean, were you shocked seeing it? Did you know it was going to happen? Like, what happened? I absolutely did not know it was going to happen. But I feel like, honestly, I feel like it was bad timing. I feel like whoever made that happen, or had anything to do with it, was absolutely that wasn't the time she had her kid, and she was there supporting my son. So I don't agree with it. As we dive deeper into this story, the fallout for Chrisean's family, especially her son Junior, adds another layer of heartbreak to an already devastating situation. There has been speculation that Junior may have special needs, with some sources suggesting that he could be dealing with conditions like autism or Down syndrome. This has only amplified the concerns surrounding his care now that his mother is facing an extended period behind bars. The situation becomes even more complicated when you look at the dynamics within both Chrisean's and Blueface's families. Neither side has been eager to step in and take responsibility for Junior, leaving a void in his life that Child Protective Services is now forced to fill. It's no secret that Chrisean's relationship with Blueface has been the worst, and their family's reluctance to intervene speaks volumes about the strained relations on all sides. The emotional weight of this situation is immense. Junior is not just losing his mother to prison. He's potentially being separated from any semblance of a stable family life as CPS begins the process of evaluating Junior's needs and finding a suitable placement. The reality of this scenario hits hard. The idea of a child being uprooted from their home, possibly being moved from one foster family to another, is distressing. And for Junior, who may already struggle with developmental challenges, the transition could be very traumatic. And this brings us to the heart of the matter: Cheyenne's emotional breakdown, as the reality of her situation fully sets in. Facing an 8-year prison sentence is daunting enough, but the prospect of losing Junior to the foster care system is what seems to have pushed Chrisean to her breaking point. Sources close to her have described her as being in a state of complete despair, struggling to come to terms with the fact that she could be separated from her son for a decade. This realization has left Chrisean in a state of emotional breakdown. Meanwhile, fans have also chimed in to share their opinions on Chrisean's downfall. A person commented saying, "No child needs to lose both parents. Hopefully, she doesn't get that much time, and she's learned a valuable lesson." While another one added, "Isn't it funny how some folks with a bit of cash think they can just break the law and go live about it, and everyone just lets it slide? What happened, Christine? They saying I got a hole." Another case caught up in downtown. "I don't even be downtown. It's cool. I got my people looking into the door." "I don't know that. Excuse me, sir. Where are you guys arresting her? For a hole?" Another charge. "A warrant out of for what? Sorry, a warrant for what, sir? A warrant for right now." Let's zoom out to understand the bigger picture of how this legal battle and its aftermath could reshape Chrisean's career and public image. Well, her career has always been closely tied to her larger-than-life persona. From her relationship with Blueface to her run-ins with the law, her public image has been shaped by a series of high-profile, often controversial moments. But as this legal battle intensifies and the consequences become more severe, there's a very real possibility that her career could suffer extreme damage. And with her potential absence from the public eye due to incarceration, she risks being forgotten by a fast-moving industry that is always looking for the next big thing. This brings us to the role that Blueface has played, or rather hasn't played, in supporting Chrisean and their son during this time. While they've often made headlines together, Blueface's involvement in Chrisean's current situation seems minimal at best. Some people might argue that he should be stepping